Hallelujah. Modim Rabim L'cha Yehovah Zevaot Elohei Abotenu Elohei Abraham Yitzchak Yisrael והפחד של מלך דוד בימים שלו. על ערב הזה מלך העולם אנחנו שמחים כי יש לנו ההזדמנות להיות לפני כיסא להתוודע כל חטאותינו יהושע זבאות. כי אתה ראית הכל ואתה יודע שברנו מצוותיך. סלח לנו יהושע זבאות. מהכל פשעים אנחנו עושים יהושע זבאות. מלך העולם והעונים עשינו, סלח לנו. יהושע זבאות תעשה גם לאבותינו בימים שלהם. בבקשה. ויהושע זבאות תהיה אמי, אבי, אחיות שלי מלך העולם וכל משפחותיהם ותשלח אותם למען שמך. תעשה גם למנהיג שלנו פינות העולם וכל הספנים והספנות, אנשים ונשים, ילדים מלך העולם וילדות, כל עמך ישראל וכל העמים שיודעים אותך, תשלח אותנו למען שמך. ויהושע זבאות תשים את רוח עלינו ותתנו החמה לעשות תורתך יהושע זבאות. תעזור אותנו לפתוח חזון שלנו, לראות ידך בכוחנו יהושע זבאות. סלח לנו יהושע זבאות. כי אנחנו זורקים אתה את צבאות שלנו לעזור אותנו מיום ליום. בבקשה יהושע זבאות. You are the spirit of all flesh. We thank you, Yah, for this opportunity to stand before you, to kneel before you, to prostrate ourselves physically and spiritually before your throne. With this opportunity, Yah, we know once in a year you've commanded that we should come before you and confess our sins and to ask you, Yehovah, to pardon our errors and our shortcomings. Every law, Yah, we have broken. There is none that is not be broken. And we ask you, Yah, forgive us, Yehovah, when we sin against ourselves. Forgive us, Yah, when we sin against you. Forgive us, Yah, when we sin against brother and sister. Forgive us, Yah, when we sin against the planet, the universe, in whatsoever area. Forgive us, Yehovah. We ask you, Yehovah, to truly give us a mind of meditation, a mind of contemplation, a mind that can think before we act, so that our actions are well planned out and orchestrated so it can bring forth righteousness. Please, Yehovah, be with husband and wife. Help them to have patience with each other. Help us not to be so quick to go the route of separation. Help us, Yehovah, to not be so quick to hurt each other. Help us not to be so quick to pile up wrongdoings upon each other, so that we can have these feelings of ill will against each other. Please, Yehovah, be with siblings and let there not be rivalry but love in their midst. Help us to truly all understand that we're one people striving for one common cause, and that's to uplift and glorify your name and to establish your kingdom on this earth. Please, Yehovah, put your spirit mightily upon us. Help us to fear you, understand you, to love and cherish the relationship that you're striving to have with us. Please, Yehovah, you know our inner thoughts, our inner inclinations. Seal within us, Yah, a spirit of love, of peace, of righteousness. Please, Yehovah, only you can do these things, Yah. Help us, Yehovah. By ourselves we are weak and nothing. Be with us, Yah. Be our support system. Help us, Yehovah. I ask you, Yehovah, to look upon this earth and pardon the shortcomings of the nations round about us. For if you place your hands in our midst, who can stand, Yehovah? Please, Yehovah, heal us, Yehovah. Help us to be righteous examples of this planet. Let them see us blessed because we're doing the right thing. Please, Yehovah. We thank you, Yah, for this day, Yom Kippur. We thank you, Yah, that we have the choice of fasting. We thank you, Yah, that you've even given us food whensoever we desire. For we know there's food waiting for us at the end of this day. We thank you, Yah, that we have the knowledge of the Torah. Thank you, Yah, that we're able to keep the Torah in these lands of our captivity. We know there are lands that are ravaged by war, and we have people that are unable to do these things, but we thank you, Yah, that we are able to do these things. So that you always ever be with everyone in our midst, Yah. Accept our offense too fast before you. Accept our fast before you, Yehovah Zebaoth. And do likewise for all days Yisrael, wherever we may be, gathering before you as one people, even in this season. We thank you, Yah, once again. And we ask you, Yah, to render unto us a blessing. Render unto us, Yah, the desire to do what's right and please in your eyesight. Please, Yehovah Zebaoth, place your spirit within us. Let it be our only inclination. Let it be our only nature, Yah, but Bakusha. And forevermore, Yah, we ask you to be with us. We know we'll have multiple opportunities to come before you. We'll listen to our collective prayers, our single praise, Yehovah Zebaoth, and be with all Beit Yisrael. Hallelujah! 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 Baruch Yehovah Babokweh. Baruch Yehovah et Zoharayim. Baruch Yehovah be'erev. Baruch Yehovah be'layla. Baruch Yehovah Yom Yom. Baruch Yehovah Tamid. Yehovah Eloheinu b'Akosha. Lishloach lanu l'kol devarim ra'im she'asim lefnecha Yom Yom. ולהיות מלכו הלילה הזה, למען שמך יהוה, אלוהי אברהם, יצחק וישראל, אלוהי אבותינו אלה, לשמוע בקולנה, אם תרצה אותך, למען שמך יהוה. נהלליה, 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 יוחאי, 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 יוחאי. סילה. O Shema Yisrael, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Shema Yisrael, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Eloheinu, Yahuwah A great portion of the observance of Yom Kippur is actually the nation of Israel having a personal connection with the Holy One of Israel. So even though we have a service, we would most of the day be coming before Yah in our personal space and time. Right. So I pray that the words that we say tonight can get you into that mindset or that frame of mind that will give you the proper words. Because think about what would you do if you had that one opportunity to go before the Holy One of Israel, and that's what we have now. That one opportunity, what would you say? What would your thoughts be? At this time, I'd like to ask you to join me in saying the congregational prayer for the evening service of Yom Kippur, and it's found on page 44. I think it is in our prayer book. Just giving persons an opportunity to get to the location. If not, you can find it on the Moreh Lua. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Blow the horn in Zion,
Sanctify a fast. Call a solemn assembly. Gather the people. Sanctify the congregation. Assemble the elders. Gather the children and those that suck the breast. Let the bridegroom go forth from his chamber, and the bride out of her pavilion. Let the priests and the ministers of Jehovah weep between the porch and the altar, and let them say, Spare thy people, O Yah.
Hallelujah. Shema.
Shema.
Jehovah Elohim, great and awful power that dealeth in mercy, incline thine ear to the prayer of thy servants. Hear the confession of the sins we have committed against thee. We have dealt treacherously and have not kept thy commandments. We have strayed from thy law and have not acknowledged thy statutes. Grant us mercy this day. Be entreated of us and cast our sins away. Forgive us in mercy, for we are but dust. Our goodness is but a grain of sand from the shores of eternity. In love and pity, give ear to our cries and pardon our iniquity. We come before thee because of thy great compassion. Cause thy face to shine upon us and grant us remission for thy wondrous name's sake. Hallelujah. Shema. Shema Yisrael.
Ashanu.
Hamaznu, Selach lanu, Kizavnu, Selach lanu, Ta'inu, Selach lanu, Tiavnu, Selach lanu, Ki Shenu Orev, Selach lanu, Chatanu bekwelu rosh, Selach lanu, Chatanu bekwelu, Selach lanu, Chatanu b'shuach shah, Selach lanu, Chatanu b'lida'ah, Selach lanu, Chatanu b'da'ah, Selach lanu. O Yehovah Elohim, whereby shall we disclaim our sins and cause them to descend into the bottomless pit? How of our fathers, cause all our sins to vanish from before thee. Bless our minds and hearts, that we may know and do righteousness for thy name's sake. Chaper lanu, mekal lanu, Analanu, Oshienu, Yahuwah, Yahuwah, Selah, Selah. Selach lanu, Chaper lanu, Mekal lanu, Anal lanu, Oshienu, Yahuwah, Yahuwah, Selah, Selah, Selah lanu, Chaper lanu, Mekal lanu, Anal lanu, Oshienu, Yahuwah, Yahuwah, Selah, 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 Selah lanu. Grant us remission, pardon us, save us, we pray. Yah Elohim, forgive us. Let us sing the Shema. Shema
For this night of Yom Kippur, we have two psalms, being the 25th Psalm and Psalms 130. So I'll ask a brother and a sister to lead us in the reading of these Psalms. I would allow persons to volunteer. Any adult male, any adult female. I see Port Mashiach's hand is up for the females. Any male? Okay, Moreh Tavel. Let's welcome Moreh Tavel, Psalms 130.
Soon Tov L'Chem.
Soon Tov L'Chem.
Hallelujah.
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 Giving all honor and glory to the supreme intelligence of this universe. Power of Abraham, Yitzchak, and Israel. For our lives and for giving us another opportunity to come in, as you said, petition before him. For he is merciful in all his ways, and he's perfect, but in us is imperfection. So I thank y'all for the opportunity to once again, another year of life, another year of repentance. Amen. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. 25th Psalm. Unto thee, O Yah, do I lift up my soul. O my power, in thee have I trusted. Let me not be ashamed. Let not mine enemies triumph over me. Yea, none that wait for thee shall be ashamed. They shall be ashamed that deal treacherously without cause. Show me thy ways, O Yah. Teach me thy paths. Guide me in thy truth, and teach me. For thou art the power of my salvation. For thee do I wait all the day. Remember, O Yah, thy compassions and thy mercies, for they have been from of old. Remember not the sins of my youth, nor my transgressions. According to thy mercy, remember thou me, for thy goodness' sake, O Yah. Good and upright is Jehovah, therefore doth he instruct sinners in the way. He guideth the humble in justice, and he teacheth the humble his way. All the paths of Yah are mercy and truth, unto such as keep his covenant and his testimonies. For thy name's sake, O Yah, pardon mine iniquity, for it is great. What man is he that feareth Yah? Him will he instruct in the way that he should choose. His soul shall abide in prosperity, and his seed shall inherit the land. The counsel of Yah is with them that fear him, and his covenant to make them known. Mine eyes are ever toward Yah, for he will bring forth my feet out of the net. Turn thee unto me, and be gracious unto me, for I am solitary and afflicted. The troubles of my heart are enlarged. O bring thou me out of my distresses. See mine affliction and my travail,
and forgive all my sins. Consider how many are mine enemies, and the cruel hatred wherewith they hate me. O keep my soul and deliver me. Let me not be ashamed, for I have taken refuge in thee. Let integrity and uprightness preserve me, because I wait for thee. Redeem Israel, O Yah, out of all his troubles. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Once again, give it all honor and glory to this great and mighty King. For these days like this and an evening like this, it really tells you how blessed we are. Because most people don't get an opportunity to ask for forgiveness and to wipe a slate clean. So that's a very, very large opportunity that we have, and we cannot take advantage. That we cannot just let run by and go by. We have to take advantage of it. Blessed be the name of Yah. Hallelujah.
To Yom. Psalm 130, a song of ascents. Out of the depths have I called thee, O Lord. Yah, hearken unto my voice. Let thine ears be attentive to the voice of my supplication. If thou, Yah, shouldest mark iniquity, O Yah, who could stand? For with thee there is forgiveness, that thou mayest be filled. I wait for Yah, my soul doth wait, and in his word do I hope. My soul waited for Yah, more than watching for the morning, yea, more than watching for the morning. O Israel, hope in Yah, for with Yah there is mercy, and with him is plenteous redemption, and he will redeem Israel from all his iniquities. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Just very grateful to the Most High for an opportunity, because we don't know when that last opportunity will come. We had so many second chances, and we don't want to wait and try the Most High for bad. We got to try the Most High for good. We got to start thinking about the quality in which we live and not just the quantity, because if I leave today, I want to do everything that I need to do, or want to look back and say I've done all that I could do to stay right in the eye of the Most High, rather than to live till 90 where all my days be wicked. So we got to think about quality versus quantity and work together to achieve the things that we need to achieve. And it's going to take every single one of us. Let's keep the Most High at the forefront of everything that we do, say, think, and are. So I'm told.
Thanking Yah for the psalmist, their words, and even for Paul Beit Israel, the presence of everyone gathered here.
Amen.
At this time, I'd like to ask you to join me in standing once again as we sing songs of praise to glorify His name. Hallelujah.
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 Good Palm, Tzom Tov Lechem.
Tzom Tov Lecha.
Giving thanks to the Holy One of Israel.
Yes.
For blessing us with life. To have the opportunity once again to stand before Him to ask for forgiveness. Yah is great, and this is a happy time for us. This is a time where we can feel good
Right.
about what is going on even at this very moment. It's not a sad day,
Right.
because we're asking Yah to forgive us, to keep us alive. So why would that be a sad occasion? So we have to feel happy and proud that Yah has blessed us to see another year, another Yom Kippur where we can stand and say, Salak Lanu. That's something to be proud and happy about, because the dead praise not Jehovah. They ain't know any that go down the side. So we thank the Creator, thank Him for this moment that we have. And I pray that the Most High will bless each and every one of you with a meaningful fast. And He will bless you with your heart's desire, because after this day is over, we pray that Yah will even guide our steps in a righteous way, so that we will not, right away go right back into what we did before. That As I said, let it be a meaningful fast, that way we can contemplate on truly how we are living. We're going to sing the song Ha'azin Ali, because we want, and we ask the Creator to hear our prayers, give ear to my prayer. And so we ask that when we disperse and when we dismiss ourselves, and everyone goes into themselves to commune with the Creator and their thoughts, may Yah hear our prayers. And we hope and pray that even for the Yeladim, because at this moment they understand it as Yom Kippur. It's almost like they just go through the ritual. Oh, Yom Kippur comes once a year, but as they get older, that's why I said it has to be meaningful. You have to really understand what is taking place in your life. Because when you stand here at 8 years old, trust and believe, when you get to be Yah willing in your 40s, 30s, and 40s, life takes you on some many obstacles. And so you have to truly understand that, man, Torah Yah, that I'm alive. Because there's a lot of people that are not here. And we thank the Creator for our lives. So please, Yah, hear our prayers. On page 5, even in our song booklet, or 6 perhaps, and even as we sing the song Ha'azin Ali, let us lift up our voices even unto the Most High even at this time. Ha'azin Ali, Ani Obecha, Ani Omer, Olefaneka, Ha'asher Ani Markish, Me'ayer, Ozek Ra'elech, Ha'el Yahuwah, Tzadi Evoka, Chakma Toraka, Yeh Hakamu, Rozel Morbo, Shemuel Akali, Refo, Mishpati, Asi, Homizvot, Berokan V'Shalom. Mino Telechem, Mino Temayam, Mina Akira, Moko Hazman, Melech HaOlam, Borei Haaretz, Umoshienu, Shemo Yahuwah. Yahuwah. Thou word once more cause Israel to stand. Thou would help us to stand in thy glorious day. Thou would help us to stand and erase all our shame. Set thy mercy and thy hope throughout all the land. By the power of thy promised God, cause Israel to stand. We had thought that our God had forgotten as we pray in the enemy's land. But he sent forth the angels of glory. So he gave us the Spirit to stand. Thou would help us to stand in thy glorious day. Thou would help us to stand and erase all our sins. Send thy mercy and thy hope throughout all the land. By the power of thy promised God, cause Israel to stand. Thou would help us to stand in thy glorious day. Thou would help us to stand and erase all our sins. And thy mercy and thy hope throughout all the land. By the power of thy promised God, cause Israel to Reishi, Kakma, Yira, Yahoo. Reishi, Kakma, Yira, Yahoo. Reishi, Kakma, Yira, Yahoo. One more time. Reishi, Kakma, Yira, Yahoo. Again.
Hallelujah. Bevouakusha. At this portion of the service, I'm supposed to bring you a message. But in preparation for this, my mind went in many directions. And I just have a lot of thoughts floating around in my head of how to begin it, how to end it. But how I want to begin is by saying that one of the greatest teachers I ever had in my life was death. I've lost a lot of friends. Growing up in a household, being the only male, you cherish your male friends that you met because they became the brothers that you never had. And our bonds were very close and very loyal, and we did everything together. And when you see a person dies that is your age and you go to the funeral and you see that person laying lifeless, it really teaches you a major lesson in life. And one of the lessons that I learned from those situations was live. Because at the end of the day, that's where we all going to end up. So while you have life, live it. And we as Israelites, our life is different in that we cannot live haphazardly, but we have a covenant that we made on Sinai that it dictates our actions. This word that we use, culture, tarbut, it is everything that you do. Because if you're not doing the culture of the Most High, you're doing the culture of someone else. That is just the way it is. There's a poet in the Caribbean, in Jamaica to be precise. I don't know if you ever heard about Louis Bennett, but Louis Bennett, she passed away, but I'm not talking about Louis Bennett. I'm talking about one that is still alive. His name is Mutabaruka. And Mutabaruka has a poem, and he says in the poem, it's not good to live in a white man country too long. Translation, it's not good to stay long in a country ruled by Europeans. It's not good to live in a white man country too long. And coming from a region that is controlled by people looking like you and I, it is totally different living in these lands for me. I know that I cannot live here forever. I know that for surety. My spirit will not allow it. Having the blessing of journeying home to Israel. And the thing that really impacted me the most was the Shabbat. The way in which the Shabbat was done. It was easy. You did not have to rush. Everyone around you was doing it, you know. And when you think of how we do it in these lands of our captivity, you know, it's down to the wire. Someone is cooking, we got to turn the fire off, whatever. But it's not done like that, and that really impacted my spirit. Even for me to observe Yom Kippur today, you know, I had to tell a lie to do the law. I told him yesterday, you know, boom, boom, you know, I'd like to work up to 3 today, whatever. 2 o'clock, the route's still to 7. So I sent a message again. Oh, you know, we send the emails out, but this and that. I said, okay, my car is about to break down. It's about to be towed. Yes, my car is not starting, mechanic is coming, gotta get towed. That was the end of that. You know, they do not care about you, what you're trying to do, nothing.
That's right.
So when, you know, in the land of Israel, when you see how everyone does it, it's like there's no stress on your spirit, you know, to do it. For me, I'm not going to stand here and like pummel anyone. You sin, you sin. We know we all sin. We know that. That's why we're here. And what I will share with you is how I try to overcome my shortcomings. Because, like my father always says, what he said? What is this?
What is this in aid of?
Right, what is this in aid of? Meaning that whatever you do, it has to be trying to assist something into the future.
Right.
That's my father always, like when we were acting up growing up. My father beat me one time, you know, once. But his words, he said, what is this in aid of? Meaning, like when you act like this, what is it leading you to? And that's a lesson that stuck with me in that when you do something, what is the outcome down the road? So, like in my life, I try to use that most of the time. You know, we are so sensible, we know it's wrong, but we try to get this few seconds gratification, but we don't look in the long run.
Right.
The rippling effect, the waves going out to the ocean. We don't look at it. So, for me, what I try to do is not to do anything that I would have to lie about later. You know, I try really hard not to do it. But at the same time, if it's involving other people, we're caught up in not hurting those people. But at the same time, who will be hurting? The Most High. You see, so that balance is something that we struggle with. We really do. Most of us in this room, we have devices. I'm not talking about like bad things, I'm talking about like devices, like computers and stuff. And when like a person is playing like a video game, I'm now back in there, we used to take out the cartridge and blow it. I don't know what to do now, but one of the things that you have to do many times to make it work is what? Reset it, reboot it, and that's what we're doing today. Because we realize that you have a car, you got to take it to be serviced. And you know within your spiritual life that right now you need a reset. You feel it.
Yes.
You're just like going down and oh my gosh, you feel it. And when the sun goes down, Yah willing, tomorrow evening, you're going to see how you're going to feel.
Yes.
You know, you could hear the music playing, swirling around the hills and the mountains, because you've released that sin. You know, while I was in a conference in Barbados, It was myself, Kun Mikael, Atra Yafa, Nausar Kazriel, and a brother by the name of Achabiasaf. We went to represent the kingdom of Yah. And I was speaking with Achabiasaf because me and him, we were the bar carriers. And so we spoke, we were able to speak. And one of the things that he left with me was that they challenged the Most High. Don't think it's a bad thing. They challenged the Most High. Meaning that in the scriptures, the Most High says a lot of things. That if you do this, I'm going to do this. So they give Yah the opportunity to prove himself. We don't. Many of us. We don't give Yah the opportunity to prove himself. We are more afraid of these nations that we're living in the midst of. You don't believe me? If you're going to do something wrong, you look up to see if there's a camera. That's what people do. They got cameras around. But we know Yah sees us all the time. But we don't, when we got to do our wickedness, we don't care if Yah sees us. If there was a camera and we know Yah sees us, if there was a camera, we would not do it, but Yah sees us, we would do it. What does that teach us? This is the reality that we are living with. That is the reality. We do not fear Yah. Like we say, Yah, the ice pass, the Most High. Yes. This is the reality, and these are the things that I tell myself. So I'm quite sure you tell yourself these things too. Because I know I'm not the only one that has these thoughts. We're fasting before Yah. That's the physical aspect of this day. We know the benefits of fasting. It rejuvenates the immune system. It raises your spirituality. But that is just the physical aspect. What about your behavior? When I came into this way of life, I was about 18, between 18 and 20. I'm not good at remembering dates and ages. But I was young, girl. And there were certain things that caught my attention. At that time in the Caribbean, there was a wave of consciousness moving around like a natural mystic. Capleton was now a dread. Ojo was a dread. So the music was like uplifting. Garnet Silk was singing. So it was a certain type of music and message. Everywhere you saw men growing their hair, their beards, wearing sandals, wearing beads and chains. So it was a vibration in the air. So I was looking around. I was sitting with the Muslims, sitting with the Rastas, and then I stumbled upon this way of life. It was the hair, you could wear your hair in a fro, locks, braids, people were wearing kippot, kotonot, the women wearing long dresses, head wraps. Fringes, that was a major part of it, like, what? Why that? I never saw that in the Bible, even though I read it over 3 times at that time. I never saw that in the Bible. But that was the things that affected me. But none of those things made an impact on me as much as looking at what people did. Because in studying to be a teacher in this school system, of course, curriculum is an important aspect of the learning. You got to set the curriculum, I hated it, and you got to write it out and stick to it or whatever, I hated that. But the part that we learned that was the most important was the hidden curriculum. The hidden curriculum is the curriculum that the student looks at you, and from your behavior, they're able to pattern themselves after you. So here I am in this way of life. Some shop thought I would go, some I don't. I might go like in the afternoon service or whatever, But while at home on Friday evening, I was still holding on to the day starting at midnight. So Friday, the sun would go down, and we know Friday night is some of the best shows. So I would do that until midnight, and then, then one emancipation, this is the hidden curriculum. One emancipation, it fell on a Friday, a shishi. And the community in Guyana, they opened the stage show for emancipation celebrations over there. Like how you have Juneteenth here, we have August 1, where we have that. And the Hebrew family of Guyana, we opened up the stage show. So we did that, and the sun was going down. And everyone was now bustling to get themselves home for the Shabbat. Here I am still living with my parents. And I watched that, and that was my first complete Shabbat. I said, wow, these people really do this thing. Outside of what they were saying, outside of what they were dressing, they were doing it. And that was my first Shabbat. Up to now, all the time I observed the Shabbat because of what I saw them doing. Everyone was gathering their stuff up together, going in the cars and heading home for Shabbat. That night I went home, my mother knocked on my door because I was in the room. You okay? Because I was not outside watching TV. I was in the room, asleep, getting ready to sleep for Shabbat. So what you do as Israelites, it is more important than what you say as Israelites. You see, here we are fasting. But what are we going to do when the sun goes down? Have you ever gone to pick up your children at school, especially like the elementary or the kindergarten stage, and you see the parents? The parents all standing waiting, or in the cars waiting. That is your sin waiting for you outside. After yeah, just waiting like, oh, you fast? Okay. Come, let's do this again. I'm just preparing you. You will find an argument is going to pop up that is a stupid argument. Right after Yom Kippur, just watch it. Stupidness. You probably jumped into one before Yom Kippur. Stupidness. We have to be able to see before it happens. What is this in aid of? When you see these things, like you will see, wait. What's this leading to? And stop it. So I'm not talking about like sin as in, when people think about sin, they think about murder and adultery and all of this stuff. We're dealing with the little stuff because I know we don't have no murderers in here. In life, there will be ups and downs. For myself, if I'm down, I remember how a bird flies. I have never seen a bird just stand here and just take off like that. Never seen it. What do? They go down first, and then they come up. So in a similar manner, in your life, when you're down, that is just yourself preparing to take flight. So with your shortcomings, if there's something that you did that really has you down, get up and fly away. New life. There's a song, a new album I was listening to, and the singer on the hook was saying, life begins right now. And that was like a powerful thought, because regardless of what happened, your life starts now. It could be a broken relationship, it could be overcoming a health challenge, a new job, or you just lost a job or gained a job, whatever it is. Now. So don't let us, okay, we know we did those things in the past, but let us look to the future. This is where our life begins. Now, also when I came into the Hebrew way of life, one of the things that I saw was the whole concept of divine marriage. Now, what has happened in the Israelite understanding, and I thank the Most High for all of the men and the women and the children that went before me and the sacrifices they made. But what in my thought process, my contemplation, what I realized, many of the people that were upholding the culture, doing the culture at that time, they were street men and women. And they were doing the best they could. A person can't teach you what they don't know. So here we have a situation like polygyny. It's divine. And a person is trying to do it with a street way. So over the years, we inherited stuff like this. And for some reason, we think that it's like the culture to do it a certain way. We have to learn to dissect the facts from the lies or the incorrect ways. Because in the incorrect ways, we're finding that a lot of children are being affected. We're finding a lot of women are being affected. I'm not talking about the women in the polygyny situation. I'm talking about women that are single. That because of the stigma associated with it, a situation like that can save them from loneliness and save them from being without protection, all of these things. But because of the way it has been done over the generations, and we owe our culture doing it right. We owe our culture. You have children in a nation growing up and they don't know how to love. My mother, I don't know what part of her upbringing. But she's not a hateful person, she's a beautiful woman. But when it comes to like love, unless I do it too much, she is not a person that, like growing up, hugging was not part of their life. So these are things in our family situation. They affect us. Because if we only grow up knowing pain and hurt, that's the only thing you can give out. How do we resolve our conflicts? How? Many times it's just a misunderstanding. Have you ever been in an argument with somebody and then you say, wait, you talk, and then you talk, and then you realize it's just like, you don't understand what you're saying? And you're going back and forth for a long time, like, just stop and resolve your conflicts. We got to stop hating ourselves, hating each other. We have young daughters right in here that don't speak to each other. I watch them on Shabbat. They have like this Willie Lynch black woman syndrome that you gotta deal with this attitude. Like at work, we gotta call in sometimes. And you get some attitude. It's like, why? And you could recognize as a black woman. Just attitude. This is your job. Just help me. I don't know what you're saying. I know I can hear. We cannot be like that. You remember that we are here to teach the planet Earth the way it should be. So let that be your focus when we do things. This is not just about you, this is about the planet. How do we get back to the natural path? How do we do that? One of the things that we do many times in this captivity is we try to get over on the system. I'm not saying it's a sin. But what I'm saying is because of that, it has become our culture. So instead of us aspiring for greater heights, we're stuck trying to get over on the system. And you know that this game is set up in such a manner that you cannot win it. You cannot win this game because they set it up in such a manner that you cannot win it. There's always a cycle, and Ben Ami said years ago, this system, this country, this captivity keeps us in constant conflict with the Most High. Constantly. Think about the things you have to do to survive. It just keeps us knocking our butting heads with the Most High. And it's tiring, at least for me. Think about how the system has us. We many times forget our seat at home. But do we forget our IDs at home? Are we as afraid of forgetting our seat as we are of our IDs? Because if that police pulls you over and you don't have your ID, you know how that is. But, you know. The word that the Most High uses, and you know, many times when we see it in the scriptures, we say holy ones. But that word saints actually comes from the word chesed, which means kind. And the Most High refers to us as his chasidim, the kind ones. Or chasidao, his kind ones. And that is one way that we should strive to deal with each other. With love and kindness. This is something that, so, you know, like in the heat of the moment, you might not do it. And this is, sometimes you have to really take your time to, you know, to respond to a person in kindness. Take your time to do it in kindness. And that love. Because once a word leaves your mouth, there is no way it can come back. That word already went, it covered that person felt a kind of way, and that's the end of that. You may not have the opportunity to make that relationship again. In management, there's a concept called TQM, Total Quality Management. I think Coin Eliel was speaking on it, not with those words, but he was speaking on it last Shabbat, I think it was. TQM, Total Quality Management. When he said that we basically have to get a relationship with Yah. Or I think Coin Zado made mention of it too. Where we cannot, you know, like be a nation with broken individuals. I'm paraphrasing what he said. So TQM, Total Quality Management, basically what it focuses on, for example, if we have this microphone and a stand, every single component of it is made to the highest level. The screws in it are made tip-top, AAA plus. The sponge on the microphone, AAA plus. The wires, everything. So when this microphone and the stand comes forward, it is the best of the best. Similarly, the nation of Israel, if we focus on ourselves to the highest level in our individual time, when we come together as a nation, we have the highest standard of quality. That's what spiritual TQM, I would call it, is. In conclusion, I don't want more people to sleep. I would like for us to do ourselves a favor and look at our mental health moving forward. Look at our mental health. These are all areas that are affecting the nation of Israel. It's affecting our relationships with each other. get your mental health checked, get your physical health checked.
Amen.
Try to be more caring and loving for each other and yourselves. Try to work on ourselves. Try to be ourselves. On that thought, many times as a nation, like we have different communities, and how I see different communities are different strongholds in the nation of Israel. And our strength here in Ashaba, Charlotte, may not be the strength of another community elsewhere. We have our brothers in Chester. They're country folk, they're natural farmers. And in Ashaba, we're not farmers. So we have to find what our strength is. I know our strength is education, it is finances, that's our strength. So that is what we got to bring to the table. I'm saying this to say because many times our feeling of lack comes when we try to be something else that we're not. Everybody can be a farmer. If you're a farmer, okay, you buy from the farmer. That's just the way it goes. The final thought. Epigenetics. I spoke about epigenetics many years ago, or many months ago rather, and it's basically, regardless of your genetic makeup, you have the ability to change how you are, how you behave from your actions, your thoughts. It says it takes 21 days to make or break a habit. 21 days to make or break a habit. 21 days. That's how many weeks? 3 weeks? So, whatsoever the shortcoming is that you have, try to stay away from it for 21 days. Whatever you're trying to cultivate as a positive behavior, do it for 21 days. And after time doing it or refraining from it, it's going to become your natural behavior. You can rewire your brain. I'm telling you, you have full control of who you are. Bob Marley said every man has a right to decide his own destiny. It is not by magic. It is from actually doing these things that our forefathers knew could be done. There is a saying, if I can find it, it says, watch your thoughts, for they become your words. Watch your words, for they become your actions. Watch your actions, for they become your habits. Watch your habits, for they become your character. Watch your character, for they become your destiny. Open and praying that the Most High, these few words, it was not scripture riddled. I'm not necessarily that kind of teacher. I try to speak from, what is around you that you can relate to. The scriptures are there, yes, but for you to see things naturally. We are all in this boat together. It's not a Titanic, because there's hope. We're all in this boat together. Let us strive to do better. Let us come up with a fail-safe switch that when we start to get hyped up, there was a period of time in my life when I used to get upset, I used to jump up and down. What was I doing? What was that in aid of? I used to jump up and down. I don't do that anymore. I don't get upset like that anymore. Plus, I know how to control myself. Because I came up with certain degrees of things that, okay, this is happening. What do you do? What do you do? Because if you allow it to slip away, you're going to overreact and you're going to be embarrassed. At least I am embarrassed when I act out in anger. I'm very embarrassed. So we got to come with ways like, okay, I work cable, I go into people's homes. There are a lot of desperate housewives out there.
reality.
I do not care how you come to me. You could dress better. I'm not going to walk up the step behind you. I didn't mean that as a pun. I am not going to let you make me do that. You understand? Because I have a fail safe. What is that in aid of? What is that going to leave me? Not everybody can have access to this. Because a lot of times, I'm saying it like in jest, but it's serious. A lot of times, we expect the women to be chaste and stuff, but what about the men?
Right.
Why is it that anyone can have access to you, like, she like you, so you gotta like her back? We gotta do better than that, man. Why would you go into a relationship? What is the purpose of it? What is it in it of? Just for a nice time, flesh? Or is it to raise up the nation of Israel? We gotta think more. That's the thought I'm gonna leave you with. Just let us think before we act. Thanking the Most High for blessing us with another before. 21 days. 21 days. Let us strive to undo our weaknesses. Let us strive to undo. Don't let our weaknesses become bad habits and they become sin after that. Let us strive to do what is right and pleasing in the sight of the Holy One of Israel. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Giving thanks to the Holy One of Israel. Once again, for Moreh Shemuel, a beautiful message to begin our search and our introspection and to go deep within ourselves for this particular night and this time of Yom Kippur, because it's crucial for us as a people. All that he has said, all that he has just warned us about is crucial, is vital, because there's a lot at stake for us as a people. Do you know that God is waiting on us to repair this world? But first we got to repair ourselves, because you see where the nation is going. So Yah is waiting on us. And so once we do that, the Most High will get us up out of these lands of our captivity so that we can begin to be the head once again and no longer the tail. So may Yah bless us all. As we dismiss, as I said before, we would go and just asking that everyone give the next person the consideration that they need to go into themselves and have that quiet moment. May we all be considerate of one another, and may Yah heal us all for his great name's sake. At this time, we're going to close out and let us sing the Shema, and then we're going to sing the Gun Karatah, the chant of repentance once again. Let us sing the Shema. Shema Israel. Kishanu, Salak Lanu, Hamas Nu, Salak Lanu, Kizav Nu, Salak Lanu, Tainu, Salak Lanu, Tiavnu, Salak Lanu, Ki Shenu Orev, Salak Lanu, Chatanu Bekwelu Ro, Salak Lanu, Chatanu Berekwilut, Salak Lanu, Chatanu Beshuach Shah, Salak Lanu, Chatanu Belida'at, Salak Lanu, Chatanu Beda'at, Salak Lanu. O Yah Elohim, whereby shall we disclaim our sins and cause them to descend into the bottomless pit? Power of our fathers caused all our sins to vanish from before thee. Bless our minds and hearts that we may know and do righteousness for thy name's sake. Chaper lanu, mekal lanu, analanu, oshienu, Yahovah, Yahovah, Selah, 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 Lanu. Grant us remission. Pardon us. Save us, we pray. Yah, Yah, Elohim, forgive us. Yivarech Yehovah, wa yishmarecha. Ya'ir Yehovah panayo alecha vechunecha. Yisa Yehovah panayo alecha, wa yasem lecha shalom. Yehovah bless thee and keep thee. Yehovah cause his face to shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. Yehovah lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. Hallelujah. Yahai. Selah. Hold my arm, Zom Tov Lachem. Please be seated. Dr. Rishadai has a word for you, has an announcement for you all. Please give him your undivided attention. Dr. Rishadai.
And Zom Tov.
Zom Tov.
Sleeping arrangements, the ladies, the women, and the babies stay here in the sanctuary. Young boys, the classroom over here. Teenagers, classroom outside. Hallelujah.
And again, Zom Tov Lachem, Lala Tov Lachem. Please be considerate of your neighbor during this time. We will, God willing, in the morning, when the sun rises, we will have a tefillah, the blowing of the horn and a tefillah, and then